Today we're uncovering the hidden relationship between your stuff and your money. We're going to see how deliberate, intentional living can literally buy you true financial freedom. Let's dive right in. Okay, I want you to picture two similar American apartments sitting right next to each other in the exact same neighborhood. The first one, it belongs to someone pulling in $95,000 a year. Walk inside, and you're hit with a massive 75-inch TV, a $4,000 leather sectional, closets literally overflowing with clothes. Some still have the tags on them, and a spare bedroom that's basically just an expensive storage unit. But here's the catch. When this person checks their bank account, they get that familiar knot in their stomach. They're just two missed paychecks away from a total financial crisis. Now, step into the second apartment. This person earns $52,000 a year. What do you notice first? Space. Just a modest couch, exactly the kitchen tools they actually use, and a spare room that's, well, a bedroom. This person checks their bank account with complete, calm confidence. They've got 18 months of expenses saved up. So the person earning nearly half as much has 10 times the financial security. How on earth does that happen? To understand how the owner of that second apartment achieved such peace of mind, we have to completely reframe how we view our purchases. See, they discovered a hidden rule, and it's this. Everything you own costs money twice. That price you see on the receipt, yeah, that's merely the entry fee. The ongoing costs, those continue for as long as you possess the item. So let's break down this massive, hidden second cost of ownership. First step, you've got storage space, basically implicit rent. Then there's maintenance and upkeep, but there's also a serious mental cost here. Researchers have actually found that visual clutter spikes your cortisol levels and reduces your brain's ability to focus. Your stuff is quite literally stressing you out. And finally, opportunity cost. Every single dollar locked up in a possession is a dollar that isn't invested, compounding, and working for your future. Just let this sink in for a second. In most American urban areas, space costs roughly $30 to $50 per square foot annually. So think about that treadmill you bought. It takes up about 20 square feet, right? That means it's costing you $600 to $1,000 a year in implicit rent just to sit there and act as a really, really expensive clothes hanger. This reality requires a fundamental shift in how we spend. We absolutely have to start calculating the cost per use. You see, a high-quality item is actually cheaper over time than constant, mediocre replacements. Take shoes, for example. A $400 pair of well-made leather shoes that lasts you 20 years offers a wildly better cost per use than dropping $50 on cheap shoes every 6 months. Doing the math just cuts right through the marketing noise and reveals what actually makes financial sense. Now, to clear out the clutter that's already costing you, try applying this replacement test to everything you own. Ask yourself, if this item disappeared today, would I genuinely spend the money to replace it? If you're being really honest, the answer for a lot of your stuff, like, that dusty bread maker or those clothes you haven't worn since 2022, is a hard no. These items exist in your life out of pure inertia, not intention. Another critical step in building that ironclad financial security is recognizing a trap so many of us fall into, and that's upgrading out of sheer boredom. A lot of high earners replace perfectly functional cars or TVs simply because a shinier model exists. Guys, this isn't progress. It is wealth destruction disguised as progress. Think about this number, $30,000 to $50,000. That is the staggering lifetime cost of financing and upgrading a perfectly good smartphone every 2 to 3 years. It completely wipes out money that could be compounding in the market for your future. Look, an item remains functional until it genuinely fails to serve its purpose. Boredom, that is not a failure. Because human behavior naturally follows the path of least resistance, you have to engineer your environment for success. You want to create spending friction. Go ahead and remove those saved credit cards from your favorite websites. Delete those shopping apps off your phone. Make impulsivity difficult. On the flip side, you want to create saving ease. Automate your investment transfers on payday before you even see the money hit your checking account. A good system will always beat willpower, every time. And hey, before you commit to buying expensive gear for that brand new hobby, try renting or borrowing it first. American closets and garages are absolutely filled with the dusty remnants of abandoned hobbies. Test your interest first, figure out if your enthusiasm is genuine, and then, only then, buy precisely what is necessary rather than just guessing. You also need to be incredibly cautious of this concept known as the lifestyle multiplier. A purchase that seems singular? It rarely ever is. A $5,000 boat rapidly snowballs into a $12,000 expense when you factor in the trailer, the storage fees, the maintenance, the insurance, the life jackets. You get the idea. Always calculate the full ecosystem cost before bringing a major purchase into your life.
Now, this right here is where high earners frequently stumble, which is exactly why that $95,000 earner we talked about was struggling so much. They never define what enough looks like. As their income increases, their lifestyle just upgrades right alongside it, and the goalpost keeps moving. You must set a definitive finish line for your material desires. If you don't, your additional income will always flow right into consumption rather than investments.
Really, it all boils down to a core philosophy. Measure wealth by optionality, not accumulation. The conventional, keeping up with the Joneses view, measures wealth by visible status markers: big houses, luxury cars, designer clothes. But true financial freedom, that requires a fundamental shift in how we define success. True wealth looks like the freedom to make choices. It's the ability to walk away from a toxic job that's absolutely destroying your mental health. It's taking 6 months off for a family crisis without panicking. It's moving to a new city, retiring early, or just saying no to opportunities that compromise your values. When you stop trading your hard-earned money for excess possessions, you gain this incredible, life-changing optionality. Now, to maintain this kind of clarity, skip the massive annual purge. Seriously, it usually just leads to burnout, and you end up reaccumulating stuff over the next 2 years anyway. Instead, try cyclical decluttering. Simply aim to remove just 3 unneeded items a week. It's sustainable, it's manageable, and it keeps you acutely aware of your own consumption habits. As you start applying these concepts, this amazing virtuous cycle takes over. You spend less, so naturally you save more. As you save more, your security grows. And here is the real magic. That robust financial security actually reduces your emotional drive to spend. The psychological need for status and comfort gets satisfied by your actual financial strength rather than by swiping a card for physical objects to temporarily fill a void. So, returning to our 2 apartments, the picture is now brilliantly clear. That $52,000 earner didn't win through an exceptional salary. Not at all. They won through exceptional clarity about what actually matters. They redirected their access toward freedom rather than accumulation. Meanwhile, the $95,000 earner remained completely trapped by the unexamined assumption that more stuff automatically equals a better life. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to really chew on. Do you own your possessions, or do your possessions own you? Both of these lifestyles are available to you right now, regardless of your income level. The math favors intentionality, and honestly, so does the peace of mind. Please make sure to hit subscribe and like the channel for more content just like this. See you next time.